Hello guys, welcome back to tutorials. Welcome back to ERD Stitches YouTube channel. Welcome. I'm so excited and I'm so happy for your show of love. My subscribers, I'm so happy for you guys. And those that are stopping by for the first time, please don't leave without subscribing. So today we are going to learn how to make this double compartment lunch bag. This is a subscriber's request. So I'm going to put you through on how to cut it, how to achieve it. It's so easy to make. If you follow my tutorial, you will not find it difficult to make. So let's go to the cutting table and don't forget to subscribe. Okay, these are the materials I'm going to use. I've already cut everything out, but listen attentively. I'm going to explain everything here for you. First, I'm going to start with the upper part. You know, there is a double-deck lunch bag, 2-compartment lunch bag. It has up and down. So I'm going to show you my material for the up. For the upper part, I have this. This is 11.5 by 10. All my measurements are in inches. 11.5 by 10. I have only one piece for it. But remember, you will cut foam for it and also lining for it. Then the second part for the upper is the two sides for the upper part. This is what I have. So for this one, I have 6.5 by 4 inches. 6.5 by 4 inches. So we will shape it. We are going to shape it to get that curve and that sides. Then this is the handle of the bag. I have 2 pieces of leather here for the handle of the bag. The sizes of these 2 pieces of leather here is 11.5 by 1.5. So this, what I'm going to do to this, I'll just put it side by side. You can put foam inside it if you want to. Put it side by side. I'm going to put foam. Then I will tape it this way and also tape it this way. This is the back gusset, like this, as you are seeing it on that screen now. So this back gusset, what I have for the back gusset is 1.5 by 6 inches. Only one piece, but I will cut lining for it. That's this. So this is it for the upper part. Now we are going to the down part. The down part, we have all this here for the down part. We have for starting with the base of the down part. So the base, for the base of the down part, I have 7 by 11 inches, one piece for the down part, the one that will be down this way. Then I have, we have 4 sides up here now. We have this and this and this and this. So for this and this, this is what I have for it. 11 by 6.5, 2 pieces. That means one will be here, while one will be here. One will be here, one will be here. Then the pocket that I will put at the front, 11 by 5 inches. I will put it this way and sew. But first, I will sew it with lining, and I will explain to you when we start sewing. So for these 2 sides here, I have these 2 leathers for it. One will be here, while one will be here. And their sizes are 6.5 by 6.5. So these are the leathers you need for your double compartment lunch bag. So the next thing we are going to do now is we are going to cut lining for everything, apart from the handle that there will not be lining. But for this base and these two sides, I'm not cutting lining for it yet. I will first sew it together so that it will be in one piece. When I sew it together, as in I'll put one this way and I will sew. I'll put the other one this way, I will sew. Then I will now open it up and cut lining and foam for it. That's what I'm going to do now. Note, when I'm making lunch bag, I don't know how others do their own. When I'm sewing anything that I'm adding foam, it's not only lunch bag. Anything that I'm padding with foam, I always reduce the size of my foam. I don't cut it exactly the size of the leather, because I don't want the seam allowance to be bulky. Sometimes it will not relax well. So what I normally do is that when I'm cutting my foam, I reduce 1 inch from the width and 1 inch from the length, the height. Like this size now, for example, that I have here, that is 11 by 6.5. That is the measurement I have here for my leather. 11, can see it, 11 by 6.5. Have you seen it? So if I'm going to cut foam for this now, what I will cut is 10 by 5.5. That means I've reduced 1 inch on the width and 1 inch on the height, and that's what I will do to all of it. Okay, I've cut that foam for everything now. These are my foam. This is for the base. This is for the two sides. This one is also for the two sides. This is for the upper part, the one that we curved, and this one is for the bigger side of the upper part. So I'll keep it aside now. Before I keep it aside, I have also cut lining for everything. These are the lining. Each has their lining. This is lining for the base and the other two sides that I told you that I will sew together before I cut lining and foam for it. So this is it. So for this 6.5 by 4 inches that we will curve to get the curve shape for the upper part, this shape you are seeing on the screen now. So I'm going to shape it. So what I'm going to do, from down here I will take 1/2 inch here. I will take 1/2 inch here. I've already marked my 1/2 inch. So from there you create a curve. From that 1/2 inch point, you just create a curve. But at the end of the day, you have to measure the curve to be sure that it's giving you 11.5 inches. Remember that our upper part is 10 by 11.5. So I'm creating a curve now to meet that my 1/2 inch point. So this is the curve now. But before I cut it out, I will first measure it to be sure that it gave me up to 11.5 inches. You have to measure it. So once you curve it and you get what you are looking for, you cut it out. I have 11.75 inches here. That means I have excess of 1/4 inch. So I will adjust it and cut it out now. So this is what I have now. So I'm going to use this to shape this one. These are the two sides. So we are now going to cut. So I'm going to start my sewing with my handle. I'll put it together this way. I will tape it this side and this side for this handle. Then for my front pocket, I'm going to put it on my lining this way and sew it round. You can see I've sewn the belt, the handle, and I've also, my pocket, I've sewn my lining to it. So what I'm going to do to this pocket now, I will use my belt and tape one side this way, just one side this way. While this handle, on this 11.5 inches side, I will get the middle. I'll fold it into two and get the mid. So I'm going to sew my handle. I will centralize my handle on this midpoint and sew it on it this way. That's what I'm going to do on this one now. On this one, I'm going to sew my belt. On one, I will sew my adjuster with this. I'll fold in the down part. I will also get the middle to centralize. You have to centralize your belt. When the down, I will fold it in. I will insert my adjuster and fold it in. Make sure that from here to here you left about 1 inch or 1.25 inch. From this up, then you left about 1.25 inch before you sew your belt. I will sew this here and here. Then this long belt I have here 48 inches. I will fold it down in, centralize it here, and sew. I'm going to leave from here to here 1.25 inch. So I will sew it down. That's what I'm going to do on this two now. So I've sewn my belt. This is what I have now for the sides. Then for the pocket, I've taped it. I've also sewn my handle. So I'm sewing the lining this way, and this way. I will leave here open. This is 10 inches side. I will leave one side of it open. This is the 11.5 inches side. This also, I will sew my lining to it also. The lining I'm going to sew it this way, and this way. I will leave here open. That's what I will do to the second one also. Then for this also, the side, this 6.5 by 6.5, I'll sew my lining this way, and this way. I'll leave here open. The same thing I will do to this one. Then for the base, I'm going to sew my sides to it first. I will just put them this way. I will sew this way. But before I sew it to my base, I'm going to pick one of that side and sew my pocket to it this way. I'll place it on it. Make sure it's equal on this down. I will stitch it from here to this place and to here. Then I'll sew it to my base. So see, I'm done sewing the lining. Like I told you, I left one side open in all. That's what I did in all. That's where I will insert my foam from. This is the base and the two sides. This is the front pocket. So now this is the 11.5 inches side, so I'm going to sew my zip on it. I'll put my zip this way and sew it down on it. Then on this side I will bring one side of my side, this curved one. I'll put it here this way and I'll sew it till the end. As you are sewing, you just be adjusting it. You'll be adjusting it. You will have to notch the middle. The middle of this and the middle of this will be together. You'll be adjusting it. As you sew, you adjust. As you sew, you adjust until you get to the end. Have you seen it? That's what I'm going to do for this side. So while here I'm sewing zipper first. So I'm done sewing my zipper, as you can see, and also here, and I have stitched one side of this curve pattern to this side. Look at it, see it. So what I'm going to do next, when you sew this and when you finish sewing this, measure. If you are doing the right thing, by the time you measure what you have from here to here and also what you have from here to here, it will give you the same thing. In fact, it will give you 6 inches. What it will give you is 6 inches here to here and here to here. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my tape to tape it this way. I will tape here this way and also tape here this way. So I'm done taping it. You can see it. So I'm going to insert my zip head now. Okay guys, I'm done fixing the zip head. I did it off camera. So you see the handle and the belt aligned together. You can see it. It's aligned together. So if you do the right thing, everything will fall into places. So now we are going to insert our foams inside. I'm done inserting my foam inside, so I'm going to sew it round to close up all these places. That's what I'm going to do now. So now that we are going to close up here, I want to explain something to you. You see, on this our zipper side here and here, when you want to sew it, you bring the side you taped, you bring it to be on top of each other this way. You see what I did here? Before you now sew, let it be on top of each other like this, then you sew. You do the same thing this side also. So I'm done sewing it round. You can see. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to trim off all this excess. I'll trim it off now. Okay, this is what I have now at the end. So I'm going to measure what I have on this side and also what I have on this side, for us to be able to know what to cut as our base. So but when I measure this way, I have 6 inches. 6 inches. So when you are measuring this way, your measurement will start from here and end here. This zipper is part of this side. The zipper is part of this side. So I'm going to measure from here this way till where this zipper ends, and I have, you can see it, 10 inches. So what I have now is 10 inches by 6 inches. If you do the right, if you measure this other side, you will still have the same 6 inches. See it? If I also measure this way, I will have 10 inches. Even if it will be excess, it will be slightly. You see it? What I have here now is 10.1, slightly. So for us to cut the base for this upper part now, here we have 10 inches, we are going to add ½ inch to it, and here we have 6 inches, we are going to add ½ inch to it. So what we are going to cut now is 10.5 by 6.5 in foam, and we are cutting 2 linings for it. So we are going to cut it out now, prepare it before we sew it here. So this is the foam I'm going to use for that upper part base. Remember I said the 6.5 by 10.5, but here I have 6 by 10. So why I cut my foam like this, I don't like sewing on the foam, and sometimes this foam will be strong to sew on. So the ½ inch, I left it as my seam allowance. So what it means is that after sewing your foam, you put your foam this way because you're going to cut line in 2 pieces. What it means, after sewing, the allowance you will have, by the time you add the allowance, you have ½ inch here, ½ inch here, it will come to 6.5. By the time I add the ½ inch here also and ½ inch here, it will come to 10.5. So now I've cut out my 2 linings. So I'll put my foam this way, put the second lining on top, and sew it round using ½ inch allowance round. So this is my base now. You can see my allowance, my ½ inch allowance. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to notch it. I'm going to put it this way, give it a notch. I'll notch it up and down. I will also fold it this way, notch it up and down. So now I'm going to put this my base here this way. I'll make sure that the 2 notch points are together. I'll bring this one this way also, match it together. Then I will arrange it and sew. I'll just arrange it and sew it round. That's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to sew it round. So I'm done sewing the base. This is what I have now after sewing the base. This is what I have now. So now I'm going to measure it round so that we can be able to sew our zipper to it. So I'm going to measure it round to know what I will get. You measure it round. I'm starting my measurement from here. So I have 32 inches. That's what I have here, round. So I'm going to bring my zipper now. Zip clothes. Remember, we have gusset of 6 inches. This is the time that we're going to work on that gusset. So this is my gusset and this is the lining. So this is my zip cloth. I'm going to attach one zip head from here first. So now that I've attached this zip head, I will bring this my gusset and put it right side facing each other. Make sure you centralize the zip. I'll put my lining at the back of the zip cloth this way. So I will stitch it here. So I'm done sewing it together. This is what I have now. So I'll move it this way. Remember, when we measured round our upper compartment, we got 32 inches, right? So now I'm going to measure from this point of this gusset. I'm going to measure 32.5 inches. The half inches is for the joining of this side together with the zipper. So I'm going to measure 32.5 inches and cut it out. So this is my 32.5 inches. I've cut it out. I want to measure it again so that you will see what I have here. You see it? 32.5 inches. So now I'm going to put the second zip head here. So I have fixed the second zip head. So I'm going to now sew it. I'll bring it this right side facing each other. This is the right side of my zip clothes. I'll bring it this way. Then my lining will as well go to the back of my zip clothes this way. So I will stitch it. So I'm done stitching it, as you can see. So I'm going to turn it to the right side this way. So this is what I have now. So I'm going to top stitch on it here and here, and also close here and trim off the excess lining. So this is what I have now. I'm going to notch it. You bring it together this way to get your midpoint, both up and down. I will also notch my zipper side up and down. So now we are going to bring this. We are going to sew this zipper now to this. This is our notch point here. We will turn it this way. The right side will be facing the right side. The right side of this will face the right side of this. You match the two notch points together. You see it, I've not even touched it, it's already there. Then you just arrange it and sew it round on this. So I'm done sewing my zipper. You can see it. This is my zipper. So now what I'm going to do now, I'm going to tape here around. So for this I will also put my lining and my leather, no foam yet. So I'll put it this way. I will sew it. When you get here, make sure that your seam allowance is on the base side. Sew it straight down. When you get here also, make sure that the seam allowance here is also facing the base side. Sew it down. So as you can see, I've sewn one side of this. Okay, now that I'm done stitching it this way, the next thing now is I'm going to top stitch here. I will top stitch here. Then I will insert my foam on the base only. I will insert my foam and also stitch it this way. Okay, I'm done. You can see the top stitch line now. You can see I've top stitched. In fact, let me turn it this way. You can see it now. I've also closed it up. See, my foam is inside here, but this side there's no foam yet, and there's no foam here yet. So on this one now we are going to work on it. Remember, when we measured from here to here, we got 10 inches. Then when we measured from here to here, we got 6 inches. That's what we are going to use here also. This is 6.5. By the time we finish sewing it on both sides, we are expected to have 6 inches here. And this one also, from here to here, it was 11 inches. By the time we finish sewing it on the both sides, we are expected to have 10 inches remaining here. Take note of this. Take note of it. So now, what I'm going to do on this one now is, I'm going to get this. I will put it here at the base. This is the base. I will leave 1/4 inch here, leave 1/4 inch here, then I will sew it down. I will pick the second one. I'll put it this way on the base. I will also leave 1/4 inch here, then I'll sew the middle down. That 1/4 inch will enable me to be able to move it for it to be equal with the side when I want to sew it to the side. But note that, like I said before, I'm going to measure 10 inches. The excess I will trim it out. In fact, what I'm going to do now, let me just tell you what we do to be on the safe side. Measure from here to here, measure 10.5 inches. The half inches, you use 1/4 inch to join one side, use 1/4 inch to join one side, you'll be left with 10 inches. You know we have 11 inches here. That means you are going to cut off half inch. You'll be left with 10.5 inch and work with 10.5 inch. So I've reduced it now to 10.5 inches. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to bring this base, match it together, the base equal, see it? Then I'm going to notch it. I'll do same on this side. I will also notch it here. So I bring this side and notch it also. I'll bring this one as well. Make sure it's together, it's equal. I will also notch it. So now I have to bring the two notch points together, match it together. Then I will leave like 1/4 inch here before I start my sewing. I will sew it this way and also stop. I will leave 1/4 inch here unsewn, so I will stop somewhere here. I will do the same thing on this side also. Okay, I'm done sewing it. Please, I forgot to tell you, make sure you back stitch here and here also, so that your stitches will not lose. You can see, you see the 1/4 inch here. You see here also. It's the same thing. So now I'm going to open it up this way. I'll move it up. Make sure it is equal here. Make sure it's equal.
So this is what we have at the end of it. You can see how it is very neatly done.
You see the work of that.
And look at this side
1/4 inch we left.
So now we are going.
You see it now. It's equal. So I'm going to sew it this way till here. When I get here, I will back stitch also. So I will bring this side also this way. I'll make sure that it's equal at the top here. Make sure it's equal there. Then you arrange it and sew. Are you seeing it now? You arrange it and sew. I will do the same thing also on this side. To tape it round this way and this way. We also do the same here, this way and this way. So I'm done taping it round. So now is the time to insert our foam. We're going to insert our foam here, 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 and here. if you, by the time you finish sewing and their foam is, the size of your foam is bigger, you can trim it to the size you need. So now that I'm done inserting my foam, I'm just going to put it this way and close it up. I'll stitch around it to close up this. Then after stitching it round and close, I will now trim off the excess lining. Okay, this is what we have now after stitching it round. So I'm going to get the notch my work now. You match it together, the sides together this way to get your middle notch. You match this one also. And notch. So after notching it, I'm going to turn it to the wrong side. So this pocket, this place that the pocket is the front, and this gusset is my back, so this is my front. So I'm going to take this, put it this way. This gusset is back, it will be on this side that there's no pocket. So insert it inside here. Then I'll match my notch points. Match it together. Arrange it and also match the back notch point. If you do the right thing, as you insert it inside, and everything will just fall into place. So now you arrange your zipper and sew it round and sew it round. After sewing it round, you tape it before we move to the next. So I'm taking it to my sewing machine now. I will sew it round. After sewing it round, I will tape it at once. So I'm done sewing it and taping it round. You can see it now. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to turn it to the right side. So we look for where our zip head is. You open it up this way. Then you turn it. So the next thing, just finish the handle. Thank you for watching till the end of this tutorial. If you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please do so to support me. And my returning subscribers, I really appreciate you guys. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you everyone. Thank you everyone. Thank you everyone. This is it. This is the back. This is it.